What is up, PE Ninjas? My name is OJ and welcome to my village of PlayerEssence, where you can come get all your latest gaming and Nintendo Switch news. So let's go ahead and get right into this one. So Square Enix says that Final Fantasy XIV is under consideration for the Nintendo Switch. This information comes from Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest 2017, and just for those who don't know, Final Fantasy XIV is actually an MMO that was released quite a bit ago, a number of years ago, and it was really doing bad, but then the game got a new director and they kind of turned things around, and now it's actually a pretty good game with multiple expansions at this point. You can play the game on the PS3 and I think PS4 as well. I'm not sure about PC, but this would actually be really good for the Nintendo Switch if we were able to get this type of game. I think the more RPGs, MMOs, expansive world games where you need to like grind on the go to where you can actually play those RPGs and grind and get those experience points away from home is better. So I think it'd be hand in hand. It would fit well, and this game didn't really blow sales away on the PS3 or PS4, to be honest, so I think that having it on more systems would actually be a good thing. I know that they considered Xbox One as well, but I don't think Xbox One users really support RPGs too much, looking at the latest sales of Final Fantasy XV on that system. So I definitely think that a Nintendo Switch port with more support from Japan, in addition to support in the Western territories as well, would probably be a better fit. But once again, we don't know if it's going to come. They're just under consideration. But I think that Square Enix and Nintendo have a pretty good relationship. The Dragon Quest games have been selling pretty well on Nintendo systems, and we're getting a number of them from Dragon Quest Heroes to Dragon Quest XI and more. So definitely looking forward to seeing if this game does come to it, and I'll definitely try it out if it does. I know that I played it on the PS4, I think, during like the free trial, and it was okay, but I'd much rather have a portable version of it if I could. It is an MMO, so you would have to be connected online to take advantage of it, but you can always, I guess, tether it to your phone or just play it right at home if you want to just play it at home. So let me know what you guys think about this game in the comment section below, and if you want Final Fantasy XIV to come to Nintendo Switch. Alright, next, we got a lot of Suda news going down this week, and Suda51 has talked about the ease of development for the Nintendo Switch, using Travis Touchdown in his brand new Switch game, and wanting him in the next Super Smash Bros. Game. This following information does come from Suda51's appearance on the IGN Up at Noon show. Suda51 says that the Nintendo Switch is extremely easy to develop for. He feels that the environments are in place to make things easy for developers. He's hoping to bring back many familiar characters for his new project on the Nintendo Switch, including Travis Touchdown. Suda51 is thinking about how to use the Joy-Con controllers for something like charging Travis Touchdown's Beam Katana. Suda51 shows interest in HD Rumble. He also likes the portability and the touchscreen aspects of the Nintendo Switch. Now, the following information here comes from Suda51's interview with Easy Ally's Ben Moore. If Suda51 had unlimited funds or resources, he would make a crazy game with Smash Bros. Director Masahiro Sakurai. It would be something along the lines of Super Smash Everything All-Stars. Mario would be in the lineup. He'll talk to Sakurai about this directly, probably joking, just in parentheses there, guys. And here's a quote from Suda51 himself on the whole Nintendo and Smash Bros. And what he would like to make. In all seriousness, next time he does decide to go and make a Smash Bros. Game, I'm seriously going to tell him, put in Travis Touchdown. Come on, put him in the game. So every time we talk about this, partially in the middle he listens, he starts to laugh, and that laugh trails off into ha ha. The next time, Sakurai-san, I'm not going to let you go. You're not getting away. Suda51 also started mulling over having Monokuma in the new Nintendo Switch game, perhaps as a boss or summon. Danganronpa creator Kazutaka Kodaka is totally fine with the character's inclusion so long as Spike Chunsoft's president signs off on it. So one of the interesting things about this kind of gives us a little bit more details on Suda51's game. It seems to me like this isn't going to be a typical No More Heroes game with Travis Touchdown, because he's talking about guest characters and them coming into the game or not. To me, this might be some type of arena brawling type of game where like you fight a bunch of enemies with a bunch of different like guest stars, and then like you can fight like a boss at one of them. So I'm thinking more on the lines of a Mad World or Anarchy Reigns than like a No More Heroes, which No More Heroes, it had somewhat of that structure. You kind of fought a bunch of grunts and you went through like a linear path, and then all of a sudden you fight a boss at the end for a ranking. but I'm thinking more it's going to be like Anarchy Reigns or Mad World, something like that, to where it kind of plops you into like an arena or area. You fight, you get points, power up, whatever the case is, then fight someone, just based on his description here. So maybe we shouldn't expect the No More Heroes 3 cut and dry. It looks like there's going to be guest stars from other games, so that would be difficult for it to be just a straight No More Heroes game. I do think that Travis Touchdown deserves a spot in a Super Smash Bros. Game, just because he was one of the most iconic characters of the Wii era, hands down. He was a cult classic. Everyone really loved his character, and he brought a lot of style and substance to the Nintendo Wii when everyone was just calling it just a kiddie system and it didn't have anything else. And then No More Heroes comes out and it's freaking awesome and bloody and all this stuff. So I do feel that he should at least get consideration, some real consideration, for a spot in the Super Smash Bros. Game. And he has a fantastic moveset. It would be really cool to see him in the game. Alright guys, and when I talk about you guys being ninjas, you guys are ninjas, but there's a difference between me, the lead ninja, the Hokage here, you dudes here that are still training. Some of you guys get in, some of you guys join in. You know, you guys are definitely getting up there. But then you have Nintendo ninjas, and they're like the sage of the six paths. They are like the top of the top, man. They're like Madara. Like, you don't want to mess with those type of ninjas. That's like the Itachi level and stuff. So yeah, it seems like you guys remember that story about the dude who leaked out the Nintendo Switch, how he got it early. It appears that Nintendo has confirmed that a small number of Nintendo Switch units were stolen by employees at a US distributor, and one of those Switch units was sold to that guy. I forgot what his name was, Hip Hop, whatever, not Hip Hop Gamer, guys, but like Hip Hop's Robot or something like that. And yeah, so here's what the Nintendo rep had to say on the matter. Then I'll get into my own thoughts on this, because the Nintendo ninjas did come after this dude. So, coming from a Nintendo rep, quote, "Earlier this week, individuals claimed to prematurely purchase a small number of Nintendo Switch systems from an unspecified retailer. Nintendo has determined these units were stolen in an isolated incident by employees of a US distributor, with one system being illegally resold. The individuals involved have been identified, terminated from their place of employment, and are under investigation by local law enforcement authorities on criminal charges. Nintendo Switch will launch worldwide on March 3rd, 2017, and we look forward to everyone being able to discover the wonders of the new system for themselves at that time." This is the type of crazy stuff that happens, and Nintendo will send their top ninjas out there to take care of these dudes. They talk about local law enforcement. Nah, bruh. That wasn't local law enforcement. That was not local law enforcement, bro. That was a ninja coming after them. Those dudes will never be heard of from again. The people that you won't hear a peep, you won't hear a word. They are tied up in a basement somewhere, and you just see Kimishima just like tossing a kunai and catching it and just saying, "What am I going to do with this?" All in Japanese, of course. And I feel sorry for these dudes. Like, I don't feel sorry for them, but then I do what's going to happen to them, because this is not good. This is definitely not good. But I do want to say this. This is the reason why Nintendo's so secretive with their consoles and all this. Like, people are so crazy to do stuff like this. What would even cross in your mind to do something like this? You're going to get caught. You're going to get caught, especially when there is a paper trail. You sell it to someone who's obviously going to put it out there on the internet. He doesn't have any games for the system, and even if he did have games for it, I mean, it's not like he wouldn't put it out there on the internet, because people are stupid. People do things like that. So you know it was going to be traced back to you. I have no clue why someone would be that desperate to do this. I wonder how much he sold that system for, but to me it's just not a good thing to do that, because you knew it would come back to you. Nobody really has those units out there in the US. Like, why? But Nintendo tracked these dudes down, and like I said, I don't think it's local law enforcement, man. I think it's ninjas that straight up got them, abducted them, threw them into like a plane, and just took off towards Japan over the Pacific Ocean or whatever, or Atlantic. I don't know what ocean connects them, but just took off. You'll never hear from those dudes again. Very interesting news. Let me know what you guys think about this theft that went horribly wrong and Nintendo took care of it. I definitely think this is the type of stuff that Nintendo needs to do to make sure that their stock is secure, and just to make sure that we don't get stuff like this. Obviously, it's never good to steal or resell things like that. But yeah, it's interesting that they felt that they wouldn't be caught and it wouldn't be traced back to them in today's day of high-tech you know, as far as forensics and stuff, as far as digital forensics, you know, and tracing back who you talk to and all of that. So yeah, definitely illegal, and they got caught. So pray for those boys. Hopefully they make it out of this one, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think about all this news here. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you ninjas for the next video. Peace!